Well, I just got invited to this new fantasy draft franchise, so I guess now we got another franchise going on. I love online franchises a lot, and generally I don't get to run ones with a decent amount of people. So we have about 12 guys in this one, starting with our fantasy draft. We're gonna try to build a good team that actually fits my play style, because I do want to win, and I think that it matters based on the rules they're setting. So we're gonna try to build a really good roster, probably defense focused. Running game focused to help my skill set and the way I like to play. But you never know what the heart of the cards are going to get. Maybe we get pick one, and then guess who's passing the ball every play. So let's get into our draft and see how it goes. I was a bit stunned. I didn't even screen record it. I just accidentally, I just got in. I got the first overall pick, so I guess we're sticking with Mahomes. I debated on it a little bit because I really don't want Mahomes. It's not how I play the game. I literally said I'm going to try to go running and defense, but I guess we've got Patrick Mahomes, so now I got to build around him. So as we're getting closer to our pick, I think we're deciding to go somewhere around, I want to build a tight end. I want to make passing offense, like Chiefs offense, going like Mahomes. See, Andrews just went. I assume that means Kelsey went, but I want to wait for Njoku. That's my guy. But really, we got to look and see what's available. I know running backs are great in the sim, and I know that I also need edge rushers because those are hard to develop. So we're going to kind of take a look, see what we can get. We do need a tight end that is good, but I think Njoku will still be there in my next pick. I don't know what overall he is right now. If he's the overall he was the last time I did a fantasy draft, he should be good. But we're kind of sitting here okay, so I need a tight end. I could use some offensive linemen, but I don't actually think they matter that much for the sim-wise, and they don't matter much for play. If you can get one guy that's decent, then you'll be set. Okay, we got some tackles. What we got for tight ends? All right, I might have to take Njoku. All right, defensive ends here. Cam Hayward, Derek Brown. DeMarcus Lawrence is very good in this game, but so is Greg Rousseau. What we got? Outside linebackers. Khalil Mack, Danielle Hunter. No middle linebackers. Corners, we could use one, but I'm not going to draft one. Derwin. Kyle Hamilton's there too. So I think I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton. Star. What has Derwin got? X Factor. All right. Drafting Derwin. That's a good user. And then we're going to take Njoku. He does not have an ability, but he's my guy. So hopefully that'll end up helping us get this. We need an edge rusher next, and then we need some offensive linemen and a running back. So we're getting up to our next pick. Seems like everybody has a quarterback now. Pretty much everybody has an edge but me, I think. So we're kind of looking to move. We need an edge. We might get two edges if they're available. Really, the goal would be to get an edge in a corner, but I actually don't know which guys are available right now and which guys are there. So we're kind of going to chill out and see what we can get. We're probably avoiding wide receiver for now because I do think I can get a good wide receiver late. Running back, I think they're going to tend to take a break on running backs, so I should be able to get any running back I want. But edge, corner. If not, then we'll look at offensive line. But I'm pretty sure there should be an edge and a corner. We definitely need an edge up here, if not two edges. A good pass rush is essential. So let's look here. So we got some tackles. Got Demario Davis. Cam Hayward is still there. I feel like that's the move. Does Vita Vea have X Superstar? Does Jonathan Allen have X Factor? Yes, he does. Jonathan Allen. And we'll just sell on corner. So I wasn't originally going to go off like two edges, but Not Cam Jordan. He's 34. He's too old. Oh, Karlaftis is right here, though. He's still only star. Do we go a little older and go Cam Hayward? He's 34, superstar X Factor. I think we can get him to avoid... Let's look at age. Nolan Smith. Okay, we can move him. We can draft him later and move him to outside. And nothing there. Okay. Yep. Overall, we're gonna take Cam Hayward. What's the corner actually? Gilmore. Yeah, there's no corners left. Outside linebackers. Clowney. No. Jadeva. Jalen Phillips. And okay, but no. All right. Cam Hayward and Jonathan Allen. We now have ourselves a nice looking interior offensive line. 2 X factors there. So now we have 3 X factors on defense. So I think our defense is starting to look set. Okay. So we saw some corners still left on the board. There were a decent amount of them. Not necessarily like good ones, but young ones. Now, I don't know if they're still going to be there when we get to our pick here in a second. Now, I'm going to go for those guys if they're there, because I would like them. But if they're not, then we will kind of go back and pursue either offensive line or running back or wide receiver. Last time I checked, Nico Collins was still on the board. I like Nico Collins. We don't really need a linebacker right now. I think we can settle for one of those mid-tier guys that are just a little bit quicker. Sean Slater is there. Okay. All right. Cornerback. Sort by age. Oh, yes. Christian Gonzalez. And other corner. My main man. Oh, is there anybody else here? Flat Stanley. Yeah. Martin Emerson. That's a secondary. Playing mind games with them right now. Trying to get them to, think I'm going to take one guy, then I take another, and then I'm going to throw him off. But I'm really just trying to stack up this defense. There's Joel Bitonio. Good. I just talked him up. I didn't want him. I talked him up. He took him. Great. I just talked up Jordan Poyer. The other guy took him. Look, we're playing chess here. We're playing chess. That's what matters. Really what I'm looking for is there's still a lot of really good halfbacks, especially young halfbacks that I might be able to draft right now, and I need to probably take one now. I don't think they'll be around in 64 picks because I'm getting the loop back around. All right, let's see what's available. First off, halfback. Gibbs and Bijan. Okay, I think we'll take... I like Gibbs more, but I think we'll take Bijan this time. I normally take Gibbs. We got for linebackers here. Oh, didn't we also look... Is Jalen Carter still here? Oh, he's not. Kobe Turner is. Kobe Turner is normal. All right. We're going to go with Bijan. Right there. There's our running back. And now let's grab our wide receiver because I don't like any of those safeties that are available right now. Take him. Okay, that's a reach, but I also don't think he was going to last back to me. So, Christian Watson, Bijan Robinson. We have now built our offensive weapons. We can basically fill it up with literally anything else that we want to. That's kind of the idea. But now we can just draft all defense and offensive line for now on. So getting a little bit later rounds, round 10. I think after this one, we won't show any more picks. We're going to do our double here, and then we'll just kind of recap with the roster. Okay, so we're going to go into this round looking at offensive line, offensive line, linebacker, safety. I prefer to get linebacker and safety right now because I do think that I can still continue to build an offensive line. But if there is a very good offensive line or a lineman that has superstar, I'm drafting him. That would be fantastic to have. At least I know left guard, center, and right guard are technically actually the most important positions because left tackle and right tackle in this game always suck no matter who you have. So we're probably going to prioritize interior offensive line when we do draft offensive line. But I think we're going to go hopefully safety, linebacker, edge. One of those, unless there's something crazy available to me in my next pick. Okay, all right, let's see here. So we're going to go... Ooh, Deion Dawkins is still there. Grover Stewart is still there. Safety, what we got? Jimmy Ward, Marcus May, Kareem Jackson, Amani Hooker, Julian Blackman. A lot of really good guys. Jeremy Chin. Jordan Battle. Okay. Jalen Petrie. All right, so we have a good amount there. Let's go by age. Do we have any young ones? Oh, is Kirby Joseph still available? He is. Kirby Joseph. That's a reach, but whatever. That's our actual zone safety. And then let's look. Left end. Plays Campbell, Seiler. Okay, Barmore is pretty young. Draymond Jones. Right tackle. Right end. Nothing there. Middle linebacker. Sort by age. Ivan Pace is still there. Ernest Jones is still there. I think we go... Trent Simpson's there too. Let's check. Okay, Ivan Pace, probably normal, but he's 22. Ernest Jones, normal 23. I think we'll go our Ernest Pace. He's a rookie. Or not Ernest Pace. So we're going to go Ivan Pace. Get our rookie middle linebacker. He probably would have still been available, but I just want him. Okay, so basically we're going to continue to build up our defense and our safety core, get ourselves good defense primarily. We'll get some offensive linemen. Our weapons will kind of be lower tier. I don't necessarily feel like I need a good wide receiver 2 or 3. I think I can get one when the wide receiver or when the CPU cuts them. So we'll recap back once we have our full roster, and then we'll move into preseason and getting ourselves ready for week 1. So we finished the draft, went through preseason, made a few adjustments to the roster. This is what it is looking like for us going into this upcoming season. We got Mahomes, Bijan. I picked up Jared McKinnon. Our wide receiver core is a little weak. We have Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, and Julio Jones, who I picked up after somebody cut. Our offensive line is actually pretty good. We have Charles Cross, Peter Skoronski, Ryan Kelly, Anton Harrison over on the right side. Right guard's a little weak, but if there's any position you want to be weak on your offensive line, it is right guard. David Njoku is going to be the king of our roster here. He is going to get like 1,500 yards this season because we're running Chiefs playbook. As we look at our defense here, we have X Factor Jonathan Allen, X Factor Cam Hayward, X Factor Derwin James. Derwin James is going to be our sub linebacker, so Kirby Joseph is going to be playing the majority of those minutes. We do have Ivan Pace, nice little rookie linebacker right there. Our cornerback room is a little weak beyond the first two. So we have Christian Gonzalez as a rookie, then we have Martin Emerson, and then we're moving down to Jerry Jacobs as our third. I mean, technically Will Jackson is better, but I'd rather play the younger guy. Special teams, we went out and got Young Wei Koo and Ryan Stonehouse. I picked up Anthony Schwartz. This is a user league, so I figured that Anthony Schwartz would actually be a very good kick returner. Do I actually want him on my roster? No, but he's going to be there. Specialists. So we have Martin Emerson as our slot corner. We are running these two, and then Drake Jackson as our rush right end. Derwin and Ivan Pace are going to be the sub linebackers. Slot corner is Romeo Doubs with Jamison Crowder as the second one. And Bijan is our primary running back in every position. So when we go look at our roster compared to the rest of the league in here, we have a pretty good setup. So scheme-wise, we are going to be running ourselves a Chiefs playbook on the offense and then Cleveland on the defense, simply because I do think the Chiefs offense will be good, and I personally like using Cleveland defense. I know it's not necessarily the best, but I prefer it most of the time. Technically, I do believe that if we moved to 3-4, we'd be in a better position, but that's just because of the guys we have. Like right here, we can switch to vertical zone run. I think that's fine, but we should probably actually go West Coast zone run, just to make our our playbooks actually match the scheme the best. So we get 5 CPU games. We get every single user game. So I have 5 user games in my current schedule. And then the rest of them are simmed. We get 2 CPU trades, and then we get as many user trades as we would like. Main thing is it's just looking for a little bit of realism, but also get a little bit of sim elements in this. So this is a new group of people I haven't played with before. The hope is that we just have some fun. Don't really do online franchises on here, so I figured it'd be fun to watch. So we're gonna get into our first game. I'm probably gonna post comment, simply because we're in a party and I don't feel like doing that. So we start off our first CPU game against the Cincinnati Bengals. We're playing game 1 simply because we want to get ourselves a good picture and handle on whether or not our roster is actually good, the way it is built, and just to get a good picture of how we need to play coming into the next season. So starting off the first drive, we want to go a little bit slow, meticulous to get ourselves into a rhythm. So we're going to start off with an inside zone run to Bijan Robinson, which we move forward a little bit for about 4 yards. Wasn't getting a lot of progress with Bijan, but it was simply because they had a very good defensive line in this roster. So we moved to a quick pass, little drag route. We find David Njoku wide open on the left side, where we pass it over to him and he gets knocked out of bounds. As we move a little bit further down in the drive, we find ourselves at a 3rd and 22 after a sack, and we drop back with a nice PA boot over our PA cross, where we find Christian Watson open downfield with a nice possession catch to get himself in the first down. Moving a little bit closer as we get ourselves near the red zone, we drop back with a nice little with a zig route to David Njoku to get ourselves near the red zone, or in the red zone, the 3rd and 1, before we are going to hurry up, trying to move the ball a little bit more, trying to continue to get ourselves some progress. We hand the ball off to Bijan for a nice little in run or inside zone to get himself in between the tackles. We continue and hurry up, moving to pass as we see a nice little route over to try to get a corner route to the left side for Romeo Doubs. But as we drop back, we get a little bit of pressure, and Mahomes fumbles the ball on our first drive. Thankfully, Bijan was able to catch him. It sucks to start off and have Mahomes fumble this early into the season and into the drive when we were putting together such a good drive, but thankfully it didn't lead to any scores, and now our defense can go out to play Cincinnati. I was really impressed with our defense in the first set, because as we drop back right away, we can see we got pressure instantly on their first play with a sack by Drake Jackson, the lowest rated guy on our entire defensive line. And after an incomplete pass and they drop back, I switched to Ivan Pace, trying to let Derwin James be able to use his abilities, but wasn't fast enough, and Will Dissly got a nice catch all the way down to the 32-yard line. Moving forward a little bit, we see themselves now on the 22 as we drop back and get a nice blitz here, user blitz with Derwin James getting himself a sack. It's 2 sacks already in this game on our first drive. As we move to 2nd and 15 after the sack, they roll out and bam! Another sack, this time by Cameron Hayward. Now on a 3rd and 25, they drop back, just getting themselves just out of field goal range as they get a lot of pressure, forcing Dak to roll out and throw the ball away, thankfully giving 4th and 25 and setting up a very long field goal, which goes wide right, keeping the game 0-0. Trying to regain our momentum after a fumble on the first drive, we drop back and start moving the ball with passes, finding David Njoku for a deep crosser route down the field. And on the very next play, we find another wide open player, this time Romeo Doubs with another crosser route, getting himself into the end zone to take a nice 7-0 lead. After a 3-and-out stop, we try to move the ball and start running again, but man, they had 2 inside stuff defensive tackles, and it really made it hard in order to try to get the running game going. But thankfully, they started making mistakes in their coverage, this time leaving Romeo Doubs wide open on a streak route, which we had to take advantage of when I moved the ball out, so I went into hurry up, still in that position, took Doubs on a streak. Now, they did adjust this time, so we had to wait a little bit longer and threw a risky ball. Romeo Doubs with a nice little catch on the 10-yard line. After the Doubs catch, we had to move and try to continue to hurry up, and we decided to switch to a run again, giving Bijan another chance, giving him another inside zone, and he finally does break by, but gets hit with another fumble. Our team just not in a good position, fumbling back-to-back drives when we get to the red zone. Thankfully, we went a little safer. David Njoku on a drag route, getting him in the end zone to take a 14-0 lead. Getting ourselves back on defense, trying to take advantage and slow them down, we find that we got more pressure by Drake Jackson, getting ourselves another sack to move it to 2nd and 20. This ended up being a nice 3 and out before we found ourselves with a nice little route here where Julio Jones wide open. I think I can get one when the wide receiver or when the CPU cuts them. So we got another touchdown, going up to a 21-0 lead in the first half. I got a little greedy, went for an onside kick, hoping that would make them pass and give me a chance to get a pick, but it just led to them getting a field goal, giving us a 21-3 lead at half. But in our next drive, and they started to move the ball, and they just turned into check down merchants, just throwing the ball over and over again to Tim Patrick until they get all the way back down into the red zone, where they throw a quick route over to Will Dissly, which Reed Blankenship fails to cover, leaving him wide open for a touchdown to go up 21-10. Next play we had on offense, we found again in press coverage Julio Jones, and you know where we were going to go. Wide receiver number 3. Why would you cut this?
I think I can get one when the wide receiver or when the CPU cuts them.
When he is going to be wide open again for another touchdown to take ourselves a 28-10 lead in the third quarter. And besides them checking down for the rest of the majority of the game, it kind of just led us to a fourth quarter where we get ourselves a nice another route to Njoku to feed him, get him another touchdown, take a 4-touchdown lead going into the end of this game. And thankfully here at the end, we did find ourselves getting a chance to get one garbage time defensive stat that wasn't a sack, as they throw it deep down and Christian Gonzalez is in position to get the interception to take us to the end of our game after a 36-10 win over Cincinnati. We take a look at our stats, looking over our roster. Patrick Mahomes going off, 492 yards and 5 touchdowns. Bijan only had 26 rushing yards, but David Njoku, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. We had another 163 for Julio and 2 touchdowns. And on defense, we actually got some good pressure from Drake Jackson, Shelby Harris, Cameron Hayward, and Jonathan Allen, and even a sack from Derwin James. And with that, that's the end of our first week. So next week we'll be moving on to play our first user game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in that one, I hope that we can actually get ourselves a nice little live commentary. We'll get a little bit more in depth on the gameplay in that one. But thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. And I'll see you next time as we continue to move forward in our new connected franchise. Have a great one. Adios.